Okay. Hmm. Alright. So to anyone watching this, I guess, this is just going to be a demonstration of how I would go about making a ROM hack. I figured since I have some time before the end of this year, I would go ahead and try and make one. This is an idea I've had for a long time, but I haven't really done anything with. Again, it's probably going to be a very boring process. So, you don't have to tune in. And I don't expect anyone to. I'm more so doing this for me to force myself to work than I am doing this for anybody else. But you can see here I've listed 2v2, because this is the goal. I want to see if I can at least implement assists in some way, shape, or form. I've figured out how to use other buttons in the past. As you know, the CPS3 has 6 buttons, JoJo uses 4. There's a way for you to implement the other 2 buttons, which I did in the Roman cancel ROM hack. But that was a long time ago and I forgot how to do that, so I'll have to take a look at how I did that, just so I can remind myself. But the idea is I want to see if I can implement assists, potentially the ability to tag in and out. Probably operate under like a Street Fighter Cross Tekken rules though, where, well, sort of, like a weird in-between, where you share one health bar, and you can switch the characters out, but if the health bar gets eliminated, that ends the round. Concurrent viewers 1. Shoot. Well, hello to whoever's tuning in. This is probably going to start off really slow. Okay. I didn't even start documenting the stuff I need to find and locate, so let me just begin by doing that. So I figured what I would start with today is taking a look at projectile RAM addresses. I think for the purposes of making a 2v2 ROM hack, if possible, which probably is, if it's something I can do, I should say, would be good to look into projectile RAM addresses. Let's just occupy projectile address. There's a lot of different ones. We'll, in particular, have it occupy the first. But today I'm just going to take a look at the structure of them. Most RAM addresses for characters and stands occupy 420. No, they occupy 1056. It's 420 in hexadecimal RAM addresses. So I just want to take a look at how much they occupy or whatever. I don't know what music to listen to, so I just put on something from the Ghost Trick soundtrack, which is a game I do need to play. My sister's been nagging at me to play it. Anyway, I'm just going to start by setting the RAM address I just set in the MAME debugger. Can you see it? Oh, right, you can't see it because it's paused. There we go. Let me make sure that this is muted. Yeah, MAME is muted. Most stuff is muted. So the reason I'm setting a breakpoint here is that that is the starting damage, or that's the breakpoint, the point in the code at which damage is read for an attack. Dio's knives are just a really simple projectile to look at. So I'm just going to look at it in particular to figure out where the starting RAM address is, how much data it contains, the size of it, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Alright, so we stop at breakpoint 1, and we can see here 2034 CAC that you can see in R14 is the starting RAM address of player 2, so that's not something we're going to worry about for now. Wait, did someone chat? I can't check these things. Nope, cool. Because it would also be a good opportunity to answer any questions if people had them. But, hello to whoever's watching, I guess. Hopefully this is useful at some point. Again, gonna start off slow, but we'll see if we pick up speed. Okay. 20354 EC is also not it. This is the RAM address for player 2's stand. So we're not using either the values in RAM address, register 12, I should say, and register 14. In particular, we're looking for 2038 CCC. So that is the first knife that's hitting. So let me just keep note of every single one that hits for this one. I think there are 32 projectile RAM addresses, but I don't remember for sure. I'm just going to keep note of every single one of them. Stopped at breakpoint 1 again. 20390 EC. Which one is this? 20388 AC. And 2039 D4C. Okay. 203 A160. I'll probably stream for like, I don't know, maybe an hour or 2 hours. Depends on how much progress I make, how much energy I have before I get burnt out. But forcing myself to do this is probably for the best. Ideally, I get this done before the new year, because I don't have too much going on, but we'll see. Okay. 203992C. I'll keep doing this, but I think I have another idea for how I might want to record this. Oh, okay. I thought I saw something in the chat rate, but that's cool. Just needed to make sure. God, the stream quality's alright. I hope the volume is okay. I guess I'll see if I go back to check this VOD at a later point. 992C. Okay, so I can move on. 203950C. DCC. Yeah, DCC. It was DCC. 203A5HC. 203A48C. And then 203A9AC. Okay, and 203BE 4C. Alright, so those are all the RAM addresses we recorded from this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and reset the game very quickly and see if I can find the point where these RAM addresses are given data of some kind, where they're written to, so that we can figure out which one is the very first RAM address. If I had to guess, it's this one, but again, probably shouldn't be guessing. Would be good. Better to guarantee than to, you know, kind of just make a guess and roll with it. But again, this is the really preliminary stages of making this. Okay. What size do I think this would be? I'm just gonna set size of 100. Oh, wait. I should have done written to instead of read from. But it looks like what it's doing right now at this stage is, yep, checking the value in R14, which is that projectile address, moving the value into R3, and I think what that's doing, if I'm not mistaken, is it's checking to see if that projectile exists yet. And if it does, it, you know, skips over it and moves to another projectile to make it occupy a knife. Otherwise, if you didn't have that check, you know, the whole thing would fall apart, where every single knife would be trying to overwrite that one, and you'd only get one knife. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of curious what that would look like. Let me load up the Lewis script. Just gonna run the training mode menu real quick and switch to Final Burn Neo just to see what happens here. There we go. Okay. So right now I have FB Neo in. Let me... Where is it? You know what? I'm just gonna drag and drop it in. If I can get it. Poof. It's taking a lot of my computer. It's not the strongest thing in the world. Okay. Whoop. Right. Let me just restart that. Load back in, and I'm gonna pause it. Okay. So since it's 2 bytes long, every single instruction in opcode, I'm just gonna go ahead and, yeah, I'm gonna modify 619C 46C. E300. If you're curious what that does, what this is going to do is at 619C 46C, where it's moving the value from this RAM address into R3, instead I'm just going to have it move a value of 0 into R3. I don't actually know what this is going to do, but if I had to guess, it's going to mean that every single knife is going to try and occupy the same RAM address. Of course, JoJo's might be well coded enough that they already accommodated for that, and it just goes in sequence. Let's see. Nope. That's exactly what I thought would happen. Kind of funny, but also the game cannot handle this. Yeesh. Okay. Yeah, a lot of other things break if I do that. Well, learning experience, you know? That's a... Alright, I'm putting the game back the way it was. Uh, 63E0. I just have to change it back because I edited the RAM, or the ROM directly. That's the big reason I have to use FB Neo for this, because previous versions of like FBA RR did not have that functionality. Anyway, that's set up. I should bring health back to what it was. I think I had that in preparation for a video that I need to finish, but I decided I would rewrite it, and by decided I mean I haven't started, but I will eventually hopefully get that out by the new year. Probably not though, I suck. Alright, so that's enough of that. Let me just hide this so it switches back to the MAME-RR view. Is this the MAME-RR view? It is. Okay. Yeah, so that's just checking to make sure it exists here. So I think that is the first thing it checks, but I don't know for sure. So what I'm going to do is, instead of setting another watch point, 619C 46C. It's going to stop at a few other places, I'm sure. Let me just disable this breakpoint for now. Breakpoint 1. Ah, right. Didn't disable that either. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and enable breakpoint 3. And very quickly... Whoop. Okay. looks like the issue there arose when I was trying to summon the stand. I didn't think it would, like, read from that address there, but I guess it did. Okay. Let me just check to make sure that knives are enabled. And it stops at breakpoint 3 here, which, what RAM address is it checking right now? 20501 FC. I don't think we need to worry about that. Yeah, you know what? It would be a lot easier if, instead of doing it this way, I just did it in the... How do I describe this? I'm just going to trace and then read over the document. So I'm going to get rid of this breakpoint for now. Go back to the watch point I had set up. Yeah, WPN2. Because I think this is read post Super Flash. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Alright. I'm just gonna trace it right here. I think it might be like 1 or 2 frames later, but we'll see. Oh, it didn't... Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. Because they're different watch points, probably associated with each projectile. I don't know why I thought they would share them. Makes a lot more sense that they don't. Who is... Oh, I gotta check the chat. Are people chatting? Maybe I should pull up my phone on this. Who is talking? I gotta watch. Bitch at... Oh, shit. Would it require more load data for assists? Shoot. I completely missed all this stuff. Quentin put... God damn, dude. Quentin put a 9.5-hour video? Christ almighty, I don't want to watch that. At least it'll be good for the drive back to Rochester. What is it? Have I tried the input frames? What? What do you mean? With projectile with something else like glass shards, character 2 has no stand, a stand address for P2 would be empty. So the idea I have for implementing these assists, if I can do that, is I would just have them occupy a projectile address, because as you could see, what we were testing out earlier, the projectiles accommodate for that. If they exist, they will occupy another address in memory. Just that way, you don't have to worry about dealing with like the stands existing for other characters. And if you per se had a character summoning their stand as an assist, maybe you'd occupy 2 RAM addresses instead. What was I doing again before I checked chat? But I mean then... I'm sorry, I might have been misinterpreting what you were saying, or just did not understand. You do have to forgive me, I'm a little stupid. Okay. Anyway, I gotta get back to what I was doing. I got distracted. So, let me call this out. Reset the watch point for 2. Put knives. Is it immediately after Super Flash? No. Yeah, it's right about here, I think. I just want to take a look at how the game goes about initializing a projectile. Yep, okay. Looks like I called it at the right time, so we'll trace that document off, and then I will open it up. Too many text files, dude. Alright. It's really compressed, but at least this is... all the assembly instructions are small enough that they mostly fit in here. No, they don't. My mistake. I kind of wish I had more screen real estate to work with, but maybe that's just poor organization on my part. Could you make another ASMR video? No. That was that was a joke video. It was pretty good though, the cough part. If they use supers, would they share same gauge address? Yeah, that's the plan. I don't want to do anything super ambitious, so I just figured, oh, have them share health and meter. Assuming I can pull this off, which this is a big if. Like, this is definitely the most ambitious thing I've done, and I have not ROM hacked in a while. I just figured, oh, I should try and get something out before the end of the year. If I maybe potentially can. They also should share both Super Flash iframes. Well, that depends. I mean... yeah, no, they should. So that is something I would have to think about. But... maybe it'd be worth getting to that when we'll get to that. Worth keeping in mind, though. Let me actually just write that down. Ideally, I could just make it so that you don't need to share the iframes. That would be really easy. But, again, that is pretty far ahead of what I'm doing even right now. Alright. This is probably what I should have done from the beginning, but let me go ahead and do another soft reset. Set the breakpoint and read from that, and then figure out how it's assigning the projectiles and, not assigning, but initializing them, I should say. Alright, let me disable all the breakpoints first. Okay. And again, it does start with that 203848C, which is what I thought it did. I thought it started with that. Okay. Just start with notes on projectiles. So I'm gonna get rid of these because I don't think we need them for right now. Alright. No, it should give priority to player 1. So the big thing about supers as well is... no, I mean... no, that wouldn't make a difference. There are some weird issues in Heritage where player 1 combos exist that are exclusive to player 1 just because of the way that the game handles Super Flash, where it... I can't remember the exact order. I think for player 1 it decrements the frame counter before it runs through the Super Flash routine, where for player 2 it doesn't. No, now I remember. Player 1... all of player 1 stuff runs first, and then it runs through player 2 stuff. And because of that, player 1's Super Flash happens before player 2's hit stun count goes down. When player 2 is doing the super, player 1's hit stun count goes down before player 2's Super Flash routine is run, which means that certain combos that would be 1 frame for player 1 don't work for player 2 as a natural consequence of that. So I guess you could say that player 1 gets priority, but that's not what you're asking about, I don't think. I don't actually know for sure. I haven't tested it. Or maybe I'm getting distracted. Alright, so the first RAM address for P1 is, what is it? 203.848C. And we'll take a look at the next one here. Yep, gonna move a value of 0, and then inside this code here, it will, once it checks, it just moves on to basically just initializing the projectile. Alright, now we check that, and 203.848C now has a value of 1 to indicate that it's been fully initialized. Yep. C46E. Now let's see what happens, because we should follow this branch if false instruction, and that should indicate to us how big each projectile RAM address is and all the values that they have stored that we might want to keep track of. Okay. So now it's pulling from R1, but incrementing it by 4. E9C4. Oh, it's also 420. Okay. For some reason, I thought projectiles would be smaller, like, maybe, I don't know what size I thought they would be. Not 420, though. Okay. Yeah. No, I think that is definitely part of it. It just happens as a consequence, I think, of the fact that player 1 and player 2 routines are... Player 1 is always handled first, player 2 is always handled second, and that causes some weird behavior as a result. I actually don't know how most other fighting games handle that. I think maybe I heard somewhere that Under Night, it just flips every frame. So player 1 gets run first one frame, player 2 gets run first the next frame. But I don't remember for sure. And I guess there's a whole debate to be had whether or not that's a good design choice, or if it should be more consistent rather than more quote-unquote fair, for lack of a better way of putting it. But I think most modern fighting games are also designed to avoid any issues involving that, as long as they're well designed, obviously. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Oh, encoding overloaded. Uh-oh. Let me take a look at some of my encoding settings. No, it is using that encoder. Let's tone it down to maybe 4,000. So it should dip a little bit in quality, but not too much of an issue. Alright. What could I look at next? I don't know why I'm struggling to think of something. Yeah, right, now I remember what I wanted to do. Oh, there is also a helpful document. That I wanted to pull up. Has a bit of information. Where is that? Here it is. Jojoba.def. Dash def. I guess. Alright, let me close a few of those things. Oh, maybe I should, like... I guess it doesn't really matter. Ooh. There we go. Definitely very ugly looking, but... Nah, who cares? Okay, so there was already some documentation on projectile addresses. Speed decision, 0, change of sprite, bullet color. So a lot of these match up with what is... Oh, I didn't even notice what you were saying. Player 1 deal checkmate, doesn't... I see. Either way, now I know that projectiles are bigger than I thought they were, or have more stuff in them. Might be worth booting up Final Burn Alpha RR, just so I can take a look at the RAM watch feature. Oh, do I have audio for this? I should mute it if so. Nope, it's muted. Cool. Oh, this is a PAL modded ROM, because someone sent it to me to look into something. I forgot about that. Oh, shoot. Is this the original version of the ROM? The 10 file is not right on that one. Alright, okay. Sorry, I just gotta check to make sure something's proper with this. Oh, the problem with the RAM search is I wouldn't be able to use it reliably. Maybe it's not even worth doing with that. No, it is. It is. I'll just check a few of the essential RAM addresses, see how they match up, if they're the same. Alright. But that also means I gotta set up FBARR. First off, let me minimize, hide Firefox. That's not hopeful. Oh, that's actually pretty matched up. That's not bad. Alright. Encoding overloaded again. Damn. And then the other thing I gotta set up is the RAM watch. I kind of wish Final Burn Neo had access to this, but it's not the end of the world. It just means that you have to use a bunch of other tools when you're ROM hacking. So I'll leave that here due to lack of any better place to put it. For most time, like clock and score, probably 32-bit. I think it just occupies a byte. So, yeah. It should just be a byte, the clock. I don't remember the exact value though, but I'm pretty sure everything is stored in 1 byte. Or the clock value is stored in 1 byte. Other integers vary. Like damage is usually, at least base damage is a byte, but then it gets scaled up to a 4-byte value, and that's when all the modifications happen. And then it gets compressed back down to a 1-byte value to be added onto character health. Character health is 2 bytes, I think. Obviously, assigned value because it needs to go to -1 or below, but yeah. Alright, so let me go ahead and set that up. Busting out the calculator for this too. Oof, okay. Encoding overloaded again, that's not good. 203 848C plus 13. That's just something I want to check to see how it associates itself with character ID, and if it also associates... Oh, another good thing to do. 203.848C plus 90. If you're not sure what that is the starting address for the frame data of something. I just want to see if they can properly handle frame data like I expected. Late Christmas gift? Yeah, I have not done a lot of ROM hacking lately. I did some stuff over the summer to research a video I was working on, and then I never got around to editing it. So hopefully I'll finish that eventually. I feel like now I only get one video out a year, or thing out a year, and it's only because I rush to get it out before the new year starts. But yeah. The idea behind what I wanted to do here was just to investigate projectiles to see if something I could potentially implement would be possible. Anything related to damage, like projectiles stored in RAM? So damage itself as a value is not going to be stored in the RAM, but a pointer to the value of the damage will be. Let me see if I can rephrase that to be a bit better. So when you attack an opponent, the damage of the move doesn't get stored, but rather a ID for the attack gets stored in RAM. And if the move makes contact, or whether it's on hit or block, it will use that ID to pull up the full list of attack properties, damage being among them, that sort of thing. So it only stores the ID, and then if it makes contact, it pulls the information that it needs to. I'm making hand gestures for some reason, I don't know why. You can't see them. Alright. And then, actually, for prosperity, well, just for the sake of it. Okay, so that gets assigned a value of 1, this gets assigned the correct ID of 0B, and this gets assigned 698B. 69B, 5B60. Alright, cool. So what this means is that you can assign a correct character ID and a other thing to it. What am I talking about? Yeah. You can assign frame data to it, so you could potentially run through an animation with it, which is the main thing I wanted to figure out. Which makes sense. It looks like, in a way, projectiles are basically just storing all the same things as characters would, which is helpful, because in a way I want to treat them as characters. How have I been doing? Yeah, no, I recognize you, don't worry. I could tell. I've been doing alright. I haven't done a lot of ROM hacking, just... I still have been playing a lot of fighting games. Not much JoJo, though. But, I was planning to go to Frosty Faustings in January, so it might be fun to play there. If nothing else, at least for the pot. I don't know if I want to deal with Modest Latios. To be honest, he doesn't seem like a very great guy. But, haven't touched romhacking in a billion years. Yeah. I still have that video you made, with the NFL theme where you have, Whole Horse Teleport. That video is great. I do think it's very funny. Definitely one of my favorite things to come out of romhacking. But, let me see. Okay. So let me just go ahead and check the hit editor. I want to see if this is... combo damage calculated? Okay. So, at least for combo damage, yeah, that video is fire. But, at least when it comes to combo damage, the big thing to keep in mind is that there isn't unique proration in a way. Like, moves will not scale by a certain percentage. It's all hard-coded to be a percentage based on how many hits of the combo it is, and it never deviates from that. The reason some supers do less damage than others is merely just a matter of whether or not you had damage scaling activated. Polnareff's 236A just suffers really bad from damage scaling in general, because it's not a ton of hits, but it's a multi-hitting one that doesn't have one singular massive hit, and each hit's... how am I describing this? It's like a 10-hit super, I think. Compared to like Kakuin's 30-hit Emerald Splash, which means even though all of the individual Emerald Splashes do low damage... Oh, the Spider-Man Joseph? That was fun to make. I don't know how well it actually behaved in-game, because I think I tried putting it into Rainbow Edition, and then I had to fix a few bugs at the time. It was fun, though. I enjoyed that. I still don't understand why old Joseph's JA has the most hit stun out of all of his jumping normals, but I'm not a game designer. Capcom clearly knows more than I do. They're brilliant, brilliant people. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be too demeaning. Alright. Let me see if I can bring this down. I went up too high. Oh, that's the road roller. Okay. There's the blood. Here we are. Yep, purely the active frames of the knife. Okay. And these are all the different knife angles for the jumping version. Cool. Yep, that all makes sense to me. Alright. So now obviously if I wanted, just for the sake of a dumb experiment, I'm gonna replace this with... what else could I replace it with that would be active? Because I'm imagining it's also using the same hitbox. Well, let me see what it can handle. Because I haven't really dicked around with projectiles much, but I just want to get the full scope of what I could reasonably do with these. That's all JC. Oh, you know what? I've got an idea. I don't know why I didn't think to do it before. Let me... use a move that's active until it reaches the ground. Like, oh, Ice is getting off screen. I'll just use Ice's JA to test this out, because that is constantly active. Alright. So just for the sake of writing that down, AF38, and then I'll figure out where this is assigned. So what's the RAM address that I would have to do here? Let's just disable all these breakpoints for now, all the other watch points. Whoa. Damn, I gotta watch out for overloading the encoding. 20385 1C 0x1, and we'll wait for when that's written to. Alright. Yeah. To answer the damage scaling question, yes. I actually have a video kind of describing the process. But yeah, you can see how much everything scales based on what point it is in the combo. Um, the reason certain times it won't scale is just because some moves don't cause damage scaling. It's not a constant thing, which is a weird implementation, but I guess it makes some sense. Like, I could definitely understand supers not activating damage scaling whatsoever if done raw. I just don't understand why all normals don't automatically enable it. It's weird, but for all intents and purposes, you're not usually doing unscaled combos unless you're new Kakyoin. In which case you can do it, but not off a 2A starter. That'd have to be like JC dash 5C into the Tire App Snake, and then you keep doing dash C. You get the picture. But yeah, the basic idea is just because Polnareff Super is multi-hit, but not multi-hit enough to have the super deal a good amount of damage, even when each hit is doing 1 damage. So because of that, and because it's not one big hit, which would also, it would still suffer, but it would at least feel like it does more damage. Because of all those combination, like those two factors, it's in the weird middle ground. It just suffers a lot under damage scaling, which sucks, you know. I'd like that super to do 1 billion damage because I play the character, but it just sucks to be me, I guess. I don't know. Alright. Let me see if I can open the disassembly window. I'm gonna have to add that too, aren't I? Okay. At the very least, what we can see is that it's assigning the value stored at R5, which is the RAM address. So I have to trace back to figure out what R5 is when R5 gets set, which we can't do in this, so I'm gonna go a bit further beyond this. Set a watch point for 69B5. Oh wait, nope. Pardon me, 619CC70. That was really gross, I apologize. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to soft reset then. Disable the breakpoints, and then load back in. Oh, shoot! I didn't realize. I completely forgot. You can't see any of what I'm doing. Whoops. Sorry about that. Okay. So let me close the disassembly view, and then... Yeah, it's a watch point 2. Watch point 2. Yeah, you were a bit confused? Yeah. Sorry. Basically what I'm doing is... I just want to take a look and see at what point the value in R5 is assigned. R5 is assigning the, as you might be able to see here, where it shows stopped at watch point 5, reading, or writing D word. It's assigning the pointer to the frame data for the knife. I just want to see what would happen if I were to assign it for a different character. But now that I think about it, I'd also have to make sure that the tile block matches up. So it's probably not going to work out visually, but I just want to see to make sure. I forgot I'd have to worry about that. But yeah, this would be a good starting point, at least, for figuring out what to do. And then I think, well, I can either go further from there or just leave it. I'll see. But yeah, I can't believe I forgot about the lookup blocks. It would be extremely weird. I mean, obviously, if I did something else with Dio, like if I did Road Roller, it would work fine. Should reasonably work. It just wouldn't have an active hitbox, at least to my knowledge. But visually, it would look alright. Still, though, I gotta remember where the, okay. Whoop. There we go. Okay. It's back to reading there. Just call this knife sprite in it. Disable watch point 2. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up the document in Notepad, scroll straight to the bottom, and then we just find the first instance of R5, which was right here, 616-0672. Okay. Disable all the other watch points. We wait until breakpoint 7 gets read from. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna read that address in Xcopy. Oh, that's in... Yeah, okay. So actually, I shouldn't even need to. I can just use the disassembly window, even if you're not going to be able to see it. But you'll know what it is. It's 069B5858, which is, I'm pretty sure, what I wanted it to be. No, it's not. Hang on. Oh, wait. Oh, because it's +4 to R13. I forgot about that. 69B 5B60. Yeah, doy me. Okay. I don't know what this was for. I don't remember. I have too many times I've just commented stuff out and then I never noted what it was supposed to do. Except for this, and I guess OTG stuff. But I don't know what this does. It doesn't matter though. So this is going to be writing a D word. Memory.write D word, and then instead of what it currently is now, happens to you in projects all the time. Yeah, I'm really bad about documenting things, which I should not be. But I definitely am. It's 69AE. And it's 642. Nope, 640. (69AE) 640. Okay. Now what I can do is I can run fbneo, and we can take a look at how much that ruins everything. Oh. Okay, I think I... Oh, no. I just have too much stuff running. So, the game stopped responding. Yeah. I definitely shouldn't be like that, but it's just too easy to not do anything. Oh, cool. Alright. So my computer couldn't handle whatever it was that I was attempting to do. I'm gonna have to close it. That sucks. Alright. Coding overloaded again, but that should be alright. Let me reload the Lua script. Nope. Looks like that broke the game again. Well, it's a good thing I still have Task Manager open. Alright, I'm just gonna try and load the game normally instead at this point. I'm a little surprised it is causing issues though. I didn't expect it to. And it's not. It's that my computer can't handle having all this stuff open at once and live streaming. Okay, yeah, so that's the problem. I'm killing my computer by doing this. It actually just can't handle it. That's crazy. I didn't think I would be pushing the limits of my computer to do this. How much stuff do I have open? Yeah. I mean, I have 3 versions of the game running. Once through FBA, once through FB Neo, and once through MAME. And I've got Notepad, and I've got Xcopy, and I've got Windows, Firefox. Not Windows Firefox, but I have a Firefox window open. And I'm apparently running a preset that is too high for my computer to handle, to the point where the encoding is overloading at for 500 kilobytes. Let me try switching it to something that might be a bit more tame, even if it will look substantially worse. Alright, I'm still presently sitting at 100% CPU usage. I did not think this would be a problem. I guess that just goes to show what I know. Alright, so at least the game runs alright without the Lua script, but the encoding still gets overloaded. What the hell is happening? Okay. No, I shouldn't erase all that stuff. Unused CPU is wasted CPU? You're right. Unfortunately, my computer does not appear to think the same, because I can't run this. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna close Firefox, see if that helps. That'll substantially reduce memory usage, because Firefox was taking up the most amount of memory on my computer. No, that still isn't enough. Oh god. Alright. Hmm. Is that... Yeah, I'm sitting at 100% CPU usage. Uh... Damn. I really gotta figure out what's going on here. That's... That's not good. Maybe I'll need to give it a restart or something? I don't know. I guess we don't necessarily need to try these things at the moment, but I thought it would be useful. Why don't I... Could be the debugger. Maybe? I don't know. Because, I mean, at least checking its, performance in, uh, Task Manager, taking up 41 megabytes of memory, and sitting at very little CPU usage at the moment, just because it's paused. FBARR is sitting at 20, 25 range. Same with FB Neo. OBS at 10.5%, 12. It's varying a bit. But, okay. Maybe I'll give my computer a restart. Take a look at... Yeah, debuggers do suck to run. That's a fair point. Alright. Maybe it's worth giving my computer a break, looking into this a bit later today, and then maybe coming back to this tomorrow. I figured it would be worth streaming at least all of this week, up until the new year, trying to make progress where I can. And maybe I'll talk a bit about any progress I make between today and tomorrow, but at least for right now, it might be worth just ending it. I wasn't planning to stream for too long. It's been an hour. Maybe that's an alright stopping point. Let me just write about some things that I might want to look into tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what times I'll be streaming. It might be a little earlier tomorrow, because I was originally planning to stream at 8 EDT, but I got pushed back because I had to help my family out with some other things. But I'll see. Okay. IceJ is a test. And then I guess I have to look into those two inputs, the two unused buttons, and how I did that in the first time, and what I can do the second time. This time around, to make it work. I imagine what I'm going to have to do is, at least similar to Roman cancel, just for the input check, add some arbitrary code injection where I jump to empty space in the ROM, run through the input check for whether or not they press the first unused button or the second, and then from there, run through whatever routine I do, and end it off by going into the standard special input check. That's what I did the first time. It'll probably work out if I do it this time as well, but again, always worth bug fixing and looking over that stuff too. Okay. I just forget what values they occupy because the different buttons each occupy different values in RAM, what they're stored as. So I'd have to take another look. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna get this done before the new year, or if I'm even gonna make too much progress, because I can potentially do all this stuff in the game itself, but then I also have to figure out character select so I can identify how you pick whatever character you want to use. But it might be good to start with the in-game implementation itself, and then from there, working on the menu and character selection. But I'll see. Alright, so I think those are two things that are definitely worth looking into. I'll hopefully have a longer ROM hacking stream and get to the bottom of what's going on with FB Neo and running that Lua script. But yeah, I'll see you around. Thank you to tuning in. Bye.